Dear Tasia, I just want to say, first of all, you're doing wonderful. I tune in every week to your podcast. I love all the advice you give. And yeah, just keep doing a great job. So I just wanted to write in because I'm new to this self love, getting to know what I want out of life and just knowing my worth. And in that, me creating boundaries has been very hard because I feel like me creating boundaries, I feel like it's a sense of me being mean. And that's the backlash I've been getting back is I'm a very mean person when really I'm very nice and very sweet and very outgoing. I'm very selfish. I'll give a person the shirt on my back if I have to. But I guess my question is, how do I stand up for myself but also not be rude to other people? I feel like that's really my difficulty right now. It's like I try to tell people how I feel, but I hate confrontation. I don't like getting into it with people. My anxiety runs very high with that. So I just wanted to know your advice with that and how do I deal with that?
Mm.
So is it that she's kind, but people are now saying that she's mean?
Because
Because
she
I'm like,
set boundaries. That's what it sounded like.
she's struggling to stand firm without feeling like a villain. Okay. She's always been sweet and giving, but setting boundaries now. Okay, got it.
Hmm.
She's known to be sweet and giving,
Hmm.
but now she's setting boundaries
Hmm.
that's now triggering anxiety and guilt. So she's struggling to stand firm without feeling like a villain.
And it sounds like this is not just in a romantic setting, but also probably with like friends, family, just like people in general.
Yeah, yeah. Let me tell you this. You will never feel, you will never be considered more mean than a person that you don't let fucking run over you no more. Okay.
Listen.
Than a person that you don't let manipulate you. Than a person that you don't let access you in the same way that they used to. You are never going to be considered more mean to a person that them yeses start turning into no's and maybes. That is probably actually what is going on.
Yeah.
When you have been a people pleaser and kind and sweet and you did not have boundaries and now you start having boundaries, people are going to start, they only want you in the capacity that benefited them before. Now, a lot of people can walk into you in their new stages and your new light. A lot of people want, and they want you just where they met you, and they want you in the capacity that benefited them. So I'm not surprised at all that you're starting to feel guilty and anxious about setting boundaries because now people are interacting with you differently. My encouragement to you is that this is like I have weird random analogies, but this is just like the practice period, right? You're practicing, and right now you're sweating, you're
Hmm.
getting up early in the morning, you are have sleepless nights, you're doing double practices, you are like your body is just burnt out. That is what you're doing now. You're now setting boundaries, right? And this is like the gritty practice that you're having. But then you get up to that bat and you see how hard you hit that ball, right? And now you like, that was all worth it. I'm so glad that I was practicing. I was so glad when them kids went home and went to sleep that I was the one up in the middle of the night watching game tape or whatever the case may be, right? But so many times people don't make it to see how hard they could swing the bat because they don't have any discipline and they run down by anxiety and guilt. I'm trying to tell you. But the moment that you see how hard you could swing and hit that ball, right? You are never gonna go back to a codependent, people pleasing. You're gonna move with so much strength. And also, what people don't understand is that there's empathy and boundaries. You
Yeah.
ever see these mamas say, you must have big feelings right now. You still ain't getting this fucking iPad, okay? But I see that you have big feelings right now. And it must be hard that you can't play on this iPad. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I think that there's a way to have empathy with people that don't understand you now and set boundaries at the same time. And so I think that there is also a component of empathy where you have to be like, wow, this person is now experiencing me in a new way. And they're also grieving the old version of
Hmm.
myself yourself. And there's always space for empathy, but they're still not getting the damn iPad, right? You still not going to be able to use and abuse me and walk over me. But these are now my boundaries. And so I think I would say to have a little bit of empathy and still stand firm on your boundaries, and also go through this practice period that seems like so much grit and grunt and just mud on that uniform. But when you see how you can swing that, there's so much joy and victory and just like personal gains that you get from setting boundaries that I think that people don't make it to. So many people just don't have enough discipline and they fold. So that's just my encouragement.
Well, my thing is self-discipline is the best form of self-love. And I think when you're in relationships, the only people who will think that you are being mean by standing firm in your boundaries are people who don't know your heart, people who don't know your goals, people who don't know what you're striving towards. So there's two things that could be going wrong, right? It could be that you're not communicating well, because these people, if you just all of a sudden have these boundaries and now someone may think, what did I do to this person? Did I offend them? Like something happened to where the switch up is happening to me, which if they're not aware of why you're creating these boundaries, that could feel like you are being mean or unkind. So I do think sharing with the people you love, like, hey, this is something I've been dealing with. I'm creating boundaries because I'm working on becoming a better version of myself. This is what my boundaries entail. This is what I'm working on. Those people will never look at you like you're mean if they care about you, right? If there are any jealousy or if there's, just weird dynamics where someone doesn't want to see you win, they might give you that energy of like, dang, you kind of being mean. But it sounds like from her voicemail that what she's saying is that she's almost dealing with her own insecurity of like, I don't want to come across as mean. And so again, I think that the communication thing would kind of nip that in the butt, because I was that same person. I recently, well, not recently, but like within this year, switched to being a 5 a.m. wake up person, right? Waking up at 5 a.m. means I need to be in my bed by 8. Me and Dre actually bumped it up to 7:30. So we have more time to like spend with each other, watch TV and just kind of unwind. But we need to be asleep by 9 o'clock in order to get our rest. So that means saying no to go into things during the week. That means saying no to people who want to hang out and go to random dinners on a weekday. That means saying no to someone who is calling my phone at 10 p.m. at night. But because I've communicated to the people I care about that I've made this shift because it makes me feel good about myself. It's helping me with my confidence and just my everyday life and my relationship. We both like the 5 a.m. They don't feel like I'm being unkind. If anything, they're checking in on my progress and asking how I'm doing and how can they support me. So I think that that's a major key point. Communicate what you're trying to do. Remember, self-discipline is the best form of self-love, and the people who care about you will support that.
Yeah, and absolutely, absolutely. And to all of that, and to add on to what you said, when people do know your heart and they still find discontent with what you're doing, get them people out of there.
Bye.
I'm telling you, get them out of there quick. Fire fast. When people do know your heart and you have communicated to them that you are on a new mission and you on this self-healing, self-growth journey, and you want to start being sharper, you want to get your fitness in check, and they still have discontent that they are on the outskirts of your life a little bit more than where they used to be, get them out of there.
That's a them problem.
That's a them problem. Get them out of there. Get them out of there. Okay. Good luck to you. Good for you. Good for you.